As you can see, we got a little bit of rain last night, and we need it. It's been kind of dry here lately. Anyway, good morning, magandang umaga, and welcome to today's episode of My PI Dream. I got a project in mind today. I'll share that project with you in just a moment. Well, let's get that project underway. Now, without further delay, let's get today's project underway. Now, after we completed our swimming pool build, we had to do some work for some repair of some of the soil around here. You've been continuing to follow me on that project. Well, one of the things that we talked about earlier was doing some rearranging of some of the irrigation heads, the pop-up sprinkler system. Some of them we already did because we had to modify some of the area around where the swimming pool went in, because some of the pop-up sprinklers are right in the middle of where the swimming pool was. But we also have to do some other moving around of some sprinkler heads, such as this right here. Now you can see I've already started this project right here, and you're saying, James, what are you doing to your beautiful grass? Well, this is something, it's a necessity, it's something that has to be done, and grass will grow back real quick. I saved the sod. You can see there's a strip of the sod there. There's an upside down strip of the sod there as well. And what I had to do is dig up around this irrigation pipe right here. This is PPR. Many people use PVC. I like PPR because I think PPR will last a lot longer than PVC here in the Philippines. Now the goal for today is to move this sprinkler head right here. You see the pop-up head right here? This head is being blocked by all the growth. Our growth in our garden is doing so well. You can see I pulled up a bunch of the Moses in a cradle that was right in this corner right here, and it was blocking the spray pattern. I installed this sprinkler head before we had all of this. There was none of this, and it used to do a nice watering all along here when we had grass all along the side of the house. But I didn't think far enough ahead. My project management for my own project here wasn't as good as it should have been, and I did not think about the fact that I was planning on doing some plants around here. So today what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut on the other side of this sprinkler head, and I'm going to move this sprinkler head down here. Now there are different ways of doing this, but this is what I found to be the easiest because I've already done this, like I said, on other areas around the swimming pool. So what I'm going to do, just to give you a heads up, is I'm going to cut on the other side of this sprinkler head right here. I will cut off, but leaving enough so I can use a coupler like this one right here. You see this coupler here. And we will take the section where I cut off there, then I will cut it off somewhere around here. We'll take this pipe and we will flip it around where that sprinkler head will be here. This pipe will be there. We use the coupler to join the two pipes back together there. We use another coupler on this side to join these two pipes here. It should be a simple operation. The digging was the hardest, and we have to just make sure that the sprinkler head is far enough down below the soil level here so that the sprinkler head doesn't get cut off by the lawnmower when we go by here. So let's go ahead and get this job completed for today. Now I've already assembled the necessary tools that I want to use here on this project. Now you don't have to have a lot of fancy tools like this to do this project. When I say fancy tools, I'm meaning mainly the pipe cutting tool we have here, the Milwaukee PVC pipe cutting tool. You could use a hacksaw, it would be very simple to do that. And then you have to have some type of fusion welding tool, which is what we have right here, and we'll need electricity. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut the pipe with our pipe cutting tool here, and then I'll clean it off at both ends. Then we'll use that coupler that I showed you earlier, and we'll do the fusion weld using this here to put that back together, and then we'll do a backfill and adjustment of the irrigation head. I'm going to remove this section and just kind of turn it around like I explained to you earlier. So we'll just kind of go the opposite way, and the orientation now will be in this direction right here. Now, to make my job a little simpler, what I'm going to do, I'm going to pre-weld. I'm going to do the fusion welding of these couplers to the pipe. Basically assemble one on this end and then one on this other end down here, so I don't have to worry about doing two of the fusion welds inside the trench. I want to stay out of that trench as much as possible. If I need to do any adjustments as far as length does, maybe it's just a slight bit too long, but I don't think it will. I think we'll have enough flexibility. Then we can adjust it on the pipe that's inside the ground. Now our goal to relocate this sprinkler head from there to here is done. The next thing that we have to do is we will backfill inside this hole. But before we do that, we're going to do a quick 180-degree turning of the sprinkler head, because I already know that this little point right here, these have a little arrow on there, and this arrow needs to be pointing in that direction. Remember, we turn this entire pipe around. We reoriented it by 180 degrees. So then we'll move this approximately in the area that we had it before, and then what we'll do some fine adjustments after everything is done, because there's some tools that you can use to go inside here to make the pattern a little bit wider if we want to. Because we moved it out here, we might want to do some slight adjustments. So we're good here. We're going to do backfill, but I want to talk about one more thing about if you are working with PPR pipe in your house or inside your garden, something you might want to think about as a precaution. Now the next thing to do is to cover up all of that pipe. But I know somebody's going to ask the question, and the question is going to be, aren't you going to test your connections before you start covering everything up? Well, let me explain to you my reasoning for not doing the testing here. But it's also a reason why you should test your system if you're using PPR, using fusion weld inside your home during your construction. Let's go to that first. If you're using PPR pipe and you're doing fusion welding, which is what everybody does here in the Philippines, well, most people do here in the Philippines, one of the things that you should do, I highly recommend you do, we did here at Villa Feliz during our build, is to do pressure testing. Do pressure testing of all your PPR pipe prior to covering them up with concrete. As you know, the PPR pipe inside the house, whether it be PPR, PVC, electrical wires, they're all covered up in cement and concrete. And that's in your slab and inside your walls. Now, after you've covered them up, is not the time to test your system to find out that you have a leak, because it has happened in the past and it's a pain to fix. So the easy way to do it is to go ahead and do pressure testing. That's basically cap off the end of your entire run of a system, and then go to the entry point where your water is coming into that specific pipe, hook up some type of a pump system, and go ahead and pressurize it with water, and then check and make sure you don't have any leaks at that point. Then you have peace of mind. Then you can go ahead and cover up your concrete inside your house. Now for us out here, this is not a highly pressurized system. It's a pop-up sprinkler system. We're only going to be doing about 35 to maybe 40 psi on it, and it's only for a short period of time. It doesn't stay pressurized all the time like what we would have inside the house. I have 2 points I know those 2 points are good that we just welded today with the fusion welder. And for me to be able to do a pressure system, I would have to remove every one of the sprinkler heads, cap each one of those off to do a complete testing of that. It's just not feasible, and it's really not necessary in my eyes. Well, enough about testing of the pipe. Let me go ahead and get over there and start backfilling all that soil and try to get things back to normal again. All right, so as you see, everything's back in place, and it really doesn't look that bad. In a couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, all of this will be grown and back grown, and you won't even notice we did this little bit of surgery here today. Now the test is in the pudding, or should I say in the sprinkler. So what we're going to do, we're going to pull up our handy dandy, let's see, which one do we want to do? I think it is this one right here, backyard. I haven't used this in so long because we had the rainy season, and I haven't set this up on a schedule anymore. So let's see if I'll do a quick run on here for just a few minutes, and let's see if our pop-up sprinkler actually gets activated. Well, this one's working over here. We're looking for this one. Oh, there it goes. So yes, indeed. Oh, I'm getting all wet here. Oh, sorry. Oh, I guess I'm fired as the yard man now. Note to everybody, make sure your wife isn't in the swimming pool in the path of a test. All right, well, it looks like today's project was a success. And now I can start deploying the irrigation system here in the backyard. I've been using it in the front yard because it's been so dry here lately. So we can actually start using it. I'm really happy, and it looks like it'll look like new again in just a few weeks. So that's it. I'm really happy about that. What do you think?
Yes, you did so great wetting me. And because of your hard work, you will have to make smoothie.
Oh, a smoothie. Okay.
Banana and coconut.
Banana and coconut. Yeah, and that's, so I guess I'm cabana boy. I guess that's my punishment for getting the wife wet
punishment
in the swimming pool.
The reward for you.
That's the reward. Oh, that's the reward. That's the reward. But it is a reward because I get to have some of the smoothie. And that's coconut from the buco, from our coconuts in our front yard, as well as the bananas that we harvest and we put in the freezer from the backyard back here. So it's all natural, 100% natural. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get that done, and I think I'm done for the day. My task is done. That job was the one thing I wanted to get done today. And then I'm going to take a dip inside the swimming pool and relax, do what retired people are supposed to be doing. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please give us a thumbs up. Please share, and if you have not subscribed, just click on that little MPID dream heart in the bottom right-hand side of your screen. You'll be subscribed and notified the next time we upload a new video. So until such time from right here in the Philippines, you have a wonderful and blessed day. If you enjoyed today's episode and you would like to see more just like these, just click on one of the helpful links over to your right and you might be able to pick up on some good information on DIY projects, how to, or if you are interested in moving to the Philippines and building, you'll find answers there as well.